All right, guys, so we're here at Gold's Gym in Venice, California, and I'm getting a shoulder workout in with Simeon, who's going to be taking you guys through some extra tips and, of course, my own input on building round, big 3D shoulders. Let's get started. I know. Tell yourself like this. There you go. Nice. Nice. Up. Get it. Get it. There you go. Fork on. Fork on. Hey. Hey. All right, guys, so we're finishing up 10 sets of 10, and pump is good, and it's smoking hot out here.
It's, so very hot. It's very hot, man.
You talked about volume.
Yes.
And you talked about that you're doing that for across your entire
training
session now.
So I'm not doing GVT across everything, but I'm doing my whole workouts are always high volume. I'm always doing maybe 6 to 8 sets because I believe in volume more than a variety of exercises. A lot of people come in, they do 3 sets of 10 exercises or 3 sets of 8 exercises. But I think that you should get the volume in on one particular exercise, get the full range, do the high reps, the heavy weight, and then move on. You know, and you don't really need like 8 exercises to hit, which is just like some simple muscle groups. I don't believe. So.
It's a great tip, especially for you guys that have a limited equipment in your gyms. Sometimes you don't need a lot of different magical equipment. Just do the same thing until it's done. All right, guys, so if you've been following me, you've seen me post and write and talk about the fact that I'm not actually doing any or very little shoulder pressing, and I've kind of moved it over more to the rear delt and the side delt focus. But Simeon has also got amazing shoulders, does mostly presses, so could you say something about that?
Yeah, for me, see, the thing is, when you do a lot of delt work, you're going to get awesome delts. That's just how it works. But I like to mix both because I want the power too. So if you'll notice something throughout my training, it's, yes, I do the bodybuilding stuff, you know, to build muscle, but I enjoy power and strength. Not a power lifter, but I enjoy a lot of that aspect. So that's why I'm always doing overhead presses, military presses, behind the neck presses. I love the big compound lifts, you know, so I mix them.
So would you say that that's kind of touching on the topic of, you know, training to change the shape of your shoulder versus training to perform?
100%. So yeah, that's exactly it.
You mix some performance training into your...
Yeah. Because, and the reason being is because I enjoy that. Like, guys, you got to find what you enjoy. It's like, your goal isn't my goal. My goal isn't Tavi's goal. Exactly. You know, so when I'm doing that, it's, yes, I'm trying to build muscle. You'll see me do lat raises after. You'll see me do front raises. You'll see me do rear delt exercises. But I love the strength aspect as well. So you're going to see me doing some heavy overhead presses. You're going to see me doing behind the neck presses. You know, so compound lifts for me as well. I mix it up.
There you have it. So don't be afraid to try everything and figure it out for yourself. All right, so now we're doing very similar exercise. 10 sets of 10 again?
No, we're only going to do 6 to 8.
6 to 8, okay. And this is going to... So now we're going behind the neck.
Typically, GVT, you wouldn't do on every exercise. You'll be spent. In fact, even on your first exercise, you're already spent. 10 sets of 10 is a lot. So it's not something you'll do 4 exercises of. You know, it's maybe just one. You'll choose an exercise of the day. Probably your hardest exercise, so the one that's compound, and you'll do 10 sets of 10 on that. And then you can mix up everything else with your typical routine. As opposed to the GVT that we started with, this we're getting progressively heavier. To be honest, I'm not sure if we'll go much heavier than this, we'll see. But this one we're doing in a typical fashion, my typical fashion, which is starting off with the high reps and then working the reps down as the weight gets heavier. You know, so nothing crazy about it. Probably end up doing 6 to 8 sets on it. You know, so yeah. guys, yeah, we've done all our presses. So as you've seen, we've done two compound lifts. We did in front regular military or overhead press, and then we did behind the neck presses. Here's a question actually. What do you feel, because I know that this is exercise that you typically do, so this is perfect to answer because I do it as well. What do you feel about overhead presses behind the neck? Because you know they have, you know, the whole, there's a lot of talk about them being dangerous, etc.
Form technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my experience was that when I was doing, I was doing a lot of chest. I wanted to bring my chest up, followed by a big shoulder day with a lot of presses.
Yeah.
I started to get problems with my rotators.
Okay.
And of course,
was that doing the exercise or not doing the exercise?
While I was doing it.
Okay, cool.
And of course, I also did my research to see was it something I was doing wrong with my technique. But I started to realize that I was just overdoing it because I was focusing a lot on my chest.
Okay.
Like twice a week chest.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah,
already
yeah.
pressing a lot.
We've lost the shoulders. Yeah.
So what I realized is that because my weak point at that moment in time was to bring in my chest.
Yeah.
That my shoulder training actually needed to shift more to side and rear to really get that 3D effect and not over tax my frontal delt. So it's for sure if I'm happy with my chest, I'm only doing it once a week, then I would incorporate more presses, I think.
So what would you say to someone let's say someone that's new to lifting, and they're thinking, should I do overhead presses behind the neck? I see people doing it. Should I do it? What would you say?
I would ask them what is your weakest link right now? What do you want to focus on?
Sure.
If they say I need to bring up my chest, I would say to them focus on the chest first. Do that twice a week. Get a lot of pressing and a lot of pushing in, and then focus your shoulder training on side and rear delt.
Yeah.
And then once you reach that balance that you like, then start to reincorporate them to get the more massive looking shoulder.
Sure.
But I think that's where the conflict comes, when people are overdoing chest and overdoing presses on shoulders. For me, in anyways, I started to feel pain.
I say to people, it's not compulsory. Like it's however, you're gonna see me doing it. That doesn't mean you should necessarily have to do it. It's not a compulsory exercise, but if you're able to do it, now I think that's where the conflict comes. It's not everyone that has that range of motion. Some people, they put it over the back of the head and it's uncomfortable. Without any weight, even just the bar, it's like, that movement feels uncomfortable for me. So leave that exercise out is what I would say. You don't have to do it. For me, I'm perfectly fine with the bar behind my neck. You were just doing it, you're perfectly fine. So if it feels like, if you feel any pain with it, or it just feels like an uncomfortable movement, then leave it alone. It's not gonna be the be all and end all. There's plenty of exercises you can do. So that's my opinion.
Exactly. And the theme is try it for yourself.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. And try it light. Don't be silly. Don't get excited and think, oh, I saw Tavi doing that weight, let me throw it up. No, start with a bar, test it out. In fact, any exercise I do, I start with a bar. You see me squat, I start with a bar. Even this exercise, I don't know if we caught it, but before we started doing the GBT, I started with a bar. I need to just mimic the movement. I need to get myself ready for that movement without any weight, get the blood in the joints, so start with a bar. Start light. Anyway, we're gonna do some lat raises now. And again, we're gonna start light and then get weights on the wall.
His arm is slightly bent, and the focus is on raising the elbow relative to the shoulder, not raising the hand relative to the shoulder. It's also a really important thing to remember. You don't want to be doing this. Doing this.
After all this volume, this shit feels a lot heavier than it usually does. There you go. Nice.
Pay good attention. It's above the shoulder to elbow. It's not going like this. It's not going like this.
Good. Lateral raises, which we just done, we're hitting the medial delt, but we're also hitting the front delt a lot in that. So rather than go on to a front delt exercise now, which I don't think we'll be too strong on after doing all this, we're gonna hit rear delts, we're gonna go hit some face pulls inside, then we're gonna come back out and finish with a front delt exercise. Whether that's dumbbell front raises, whether it's upright rows, whether it's barbell front raises, yeah, we're gonna finish with something like that. But yeah, we're gonna go inside and do some face pulls.
Alright guys, so now we're back inside. We're doing an exercise called face pulls. So what you do is you set up the lat pull down machine, some handles, you cross it over, and this really hits the rear delt. Look at that. Right there.
Okay guys, with this exercise, we're using this lat pull down machine, which is different because it has the crossover, which is awesome. And you can see what we're going for the rear delts. However, if you don't have this machine, you can use the rope and just attach it at the top. And it's called face pulls. You just bring the rope towards your face and it activates the rear delts on the back here. Perfect exercise. See that? Look at that. Look at that. That's exactly what we want right there. There you go. There you go. If you stay there for a second, you just flex your back. No one ever talks about this muscle, and we never target it. But the inspa, I always get the pronunciation wrong, so you can mock me later. Infracognathus, this one here, your teres major and minor. We never really target these, but these are significant muscles that make your whole back, along with your shoulders. You know, people concentrate on want a big back. By the end of the day, if you have big shoulders, it's going to give you an even bigger. Like make your back look even bigger as it comes down into a V taper, you know. But so yeah, we're hitting the rear delts, but never forget your infracognathus here and your teres major and minor here. Yo guys, just finishing off. We're gonna do some front delts, some front raises. I'm actually, I don't know how you normally do it, but some people do them like this, which I used to do, and then I started doing them this way, and I actually feel it more.
If you do this movement, and you just feel the front delt and you twist your hand around, you can almost feel the
difference.
The muscle relaxing and flexing.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Hey guys, I want to shoot the video. I'm sure you don't want me to shoot the video.
Okay. Alright guys, so you saw Simeon, he just gave his little twist on a front raise where he would actually keep it up like this, going up, and very, very good variation just to hit that front delt a little bit better. And the way that I actually really like to do it is to go across the body, so actually come across as you're going up, just to really make sure that you're getting the most out of the movement. So let's combine both.
Okay guys, that's a workout done. Hope you learned something from it. Let us know when you want us to hit something again. Because we don't train often together, but we do, like every now and then. So let us know what you want to see us hit next. And I'm sure we'll do it, whether it's in this country or in Europe somewhere. We always meet in different countries. So let us know, man.
Let us know if you want to see more.
You need to follow Tavi's channel. Tavi, let them know the channel.
So my YouTube channel is Tavi Castro, and subscribe because I'm gonna have a lot of
The information's there. Hit it. Hit it. It's right there.
Where is it? Where's it exactly? All right, guys. Check you next time.
Peace.